Check this out, special vehicles teams right there. This is a 2013 Ford F-150 Raptor with a 6.2 in it. This thing just left a dealership for an AC concern, AC blowing hot, right? No big deal, it's usually a thing. It appears that my customer has an estimate to replace the evaporator core. Now, because this is a Raptor, what we understand is that you can't just replace the actual core, which is like the little mini radiator inside. You've got to replace the entire service case, which comes with the evaporator core, the heater core, all the blend doors. It's really, really expensive. Plus, we have to remove the dash to take it out because it's bolts to the firewall on the inside. So the guy had an estimate and a concern for an evaporator core. Super expensive job. And I wanted to check that. So today, we're at the end of the day. I got a couple doors closed over there. And I figured I was going to put the AC machine onto this thing, recover all the refrigerant, pull it down into a vacuum, okay? Then we're going to let it sit overnight, then come back and then check to see if it came off of vacuum and ended up at ambient pressure inside. That'll let me know that there's a leak because atmosphere air entered the AC while it was vacuumed out. And if that vacuum, like I said, isn't there, then, well, we know it has a leak. So I pulled the caps off and I heard this. I was like, okay. So then I pulled the other cap off and I heard a. So then I looked down in the hole. Now I had one spurt there and we had a spurt here. Now we're going to watch this long enough. This thing was bubbling for days. Oh, there was a bubble. Yep, see that one? This thing's leaking everywhere. Let me turn the truck on and start the AC system up. It's gonna pressurize a little bit this side over here, and I bet you we're gonna see all kinds of leaks happening at that service valve. So let's just put these back on. That way, whatever does leak, we can hear the psst when it's done. So I'm gonna start the truck, let it run for a couple minutes, 30, 40 seconds. That's all we really need for pressure to stabilize. There we go, starting the engine. Wow, 54,916 miles on the odometer. That seems a little light on the mileage for needing the entire interior removed, doesn't it? I think so. So here, let's crack our window. AC's blowing cold, right? So it's working. The compressor down there is compressing. I can see the clutch pulley. Yeah, that's running. Okay, let's go back in and shut her down. I've got a feeling that somebody may have seen SVT Raptor on the ticket and said, money, 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 money. Needs an evaporator. Did you hear that spurt? Let's listen to this next one. Shh. Oh, no spurt on that one. Okay, well, we just saw that bubble. See it? That's clearly and visibly leaking refrigerant from that service valve. Give it a second. No? Come on. There it is. There was another one. Another bubble. Yep, there's a bubble. We see it. All right. Confirm kill. We know there's two leaks. I think you guys heard that one seep through, and we can see that one. And the port is full of dye. Now, it could be full of dye because dye was injected into it in order to find the leak. So we have to discredit that dye that's already present on that valve. So we'll come back to that later. So right now, I'm gonna go fetch the refrigerant recovery machine. We're gonna pull it all down, weigh it out, see what's in there, and then I'm gonna button this place up and head home, and we're going to check it in the morning. Which machine do I need? 1234YF, the uber expensive version of refrigerant. Follow the money. Okay, we're gonna roll this guy right on around here, grab the two service lines off the machine and make them connected. Now, everyone out in the industry that is using these types of machines and performing these, is this the right one? Did I not grab the right machine? Man, I am never going to leer to read. Look at that, 134A. I don't know what I'm thinking right there. Okay, no problem. I have the old machine back out. So here's the deal. We're gonna connect, we're gonna hook up, we're gonna recover. Then we're gonna pull it down into a vacuum. As much of a vacuum as this machine can possibly vacuum it down. I'm going to leave these service connections attached to the vehicle. They probably will not leak and should not leak, and I've done this before many times and they do not leak down. If they leaked under vacuum, they would also leak under pressure, and they do not. So I've got confidence that these guys are not gonna be a leak source. And I know the machine doesn't leak because it locks itself out if it does a self-check and it finds it has a leak. So it does have a real-time clock failure though. Don't need that. You better wake up. So we're gonna pull it down, vacuum, going home. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna check vacuum status on this. If this thing holds vacuum down at 29.9 inches mercury, then we know that this does not have an evaporator core and somebody got sold because they have a special vehicle build. And that would not be good for the dealership. I'll have to roast you for that. Okay, we're entering recovery mode. Start pulling it down. Now it should, this should probably come in under spec quite a bit because it does have a leak going and that stuff would have vented out even past the caps. Pressures seem kind of down anyway, right off the get-go. Let's check the sticker. Let's see, I am seeing all engines except 6.2, and with the 6.2, we're looking for 1.5 pounds of refrigerant, 0.68 kilograms, or 24 ounces. So while that machine is machining, and we know that there's dye in this thing, let's just take a look down below, see if there's any dye where the evaporator drain should be. There should be a, where is the drain? Should be right in here. No, I don't see it. Usually you'll check the drain of the evaporator case, because if there's a leak, it'll carry the dye out with it, and then the dye will present itself at the drain, but I don't see where the drain is, and it's not gonna work. That's a failed tactic right there. Okay. Well, I'm climbing back out. Oh my gosh. So the next thing will be, in the morning when I come in, if this thing is discharged, then we're gonna have to charge the system and then go inside with a refrigerant detector into the evaporator side from the cabin and see if the detector will pick up trace presence elements, or of the element of the refrigerant. Refrigerant's not really an element. I don't know why I said that. And I'm up here looking for that drain, and I still do not see the drain tube anywhere. They're usually like right on the firewalls around this area. Okay, we're still recovering. It recovered into a vacuum. Okay, let's do a quick leak check. Pause it. Yeah, I've been sitting here for a minute or so. Not really seeing that thing move. Well, that's just preliminary. We need time to really tell us. If there was a huge leak, we would have seen this thing creeping up right away. So we know there's not a huge leak in it, but a small leak is still a leak. So let's finish the recovery, pull it into a vacuum. I'll be back when the vacuum is done, and then we will take note of the condition of the pressures. I'll take some photographs of it for a long-term comparison, and then I'm gonna button this joint up and go on home, and then we'll come back in the AM. Definitely a leaker. 3.81 pounds recovered. I'm surprised it even turned on and blew cold air at all. There's like nothing that came out of this. Very interesting. So, recover complete. We're done with the oil drain. Let's get out of the menu, vacuum it. It's still in vacuum, which is super awesome. Okay. Do not save service records, 10 minutes. When that's done, I'm gonna shut the machine down, take note of the gauges, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Poof, just like that, it's the next day, I guess. I don't feel good. I got a sinus inflammation thing going on, so I'm not gonna work today. I came today just to finish making this video for you guys, and then I'm going home. Check this out right here. Found it, or I should say didn't found it. Look at that. We're still holding vacuum. It is, let's see, I left here at like 4, it's like 11 now. I can't do math, more than 12 hours. It's been a long time. If this thing had a leak, this gauge right here should have been creeping upwards at least, or up to 0 or near 0. And we're not even close. Like, I think maybe it did move a little bit, but we cannot count that as a leak because the weather has drastically changed from yesterday. Today it's cold and rainy and windy and gross, and yesterday it was bright and sunny and breezy and nice. So it stands to reason, and no, I haven't checked the barometric pressure readings of yesterday versus today. So somebody in there will do that for me here in Bradenton, Florida, if you want to, just for the comment. If you do it, I'll pin you. I'll make you the first one here. But I can attribute that very, 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 very slight adjustment in that vacuum gauge to differences in air pressure. I do not believe whatsoever that the evaporator core on this SVT Ford F-150 6.2 has a leak. Did I tell you guys earlier that you can't replace just the core on this either? You've got to replace the entire HVAC box. I think I did. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Sorry, my brain cranium's not working. So the repair on this thing's AC is going to be ultra simple. We're going to pull these cores out of here, replace them with new cores, and then recharge it, and then send this thing on its way for an absolute fraction of the estimate of replacing the system. You know, I wonder, those things were leaking outwards when they were under pressure, right? Let's see if they leak inwards. Let's see if that thing pulls in some air with this side disconnected, because that was definitely a leaker, and we're still under vacuum. Yeah, I got time. I'll go ahead and order those valves and then see if that gauge creeps up any. I don't think it will. Yeah, it's probably not going to be enough to be noticeable, but it's worth the experimentation. So I'm going to head in there, tell Lauren to get me some valves for that thing. We're going to change them out, recharge it, and then Bob's your uncle. That AC system's going to be good. Okie dokes. I have some replacement Schrader valves here. See how these guys work. It's a little spring-loaded pintle. And when you push it down, it separates that O-ring right there from the housing. You see at the very bottom? And that's your seal. These little seals here, that's what leaks on these. They get compressed and squished over time, and they no longer hold their shape or provide a seal. Now, take a look right here. Let's see if we can get the angles correct. You see how that needle is kind of encroaching towards the 3 a little bit? It's been about an hour since I last took a visual of that, and we are ticking ever so slightly in that direction. And that is with that low side valve removed. So I do believe we're getting close to an accurate diagnosis here. Let's go ahead and pull this valve out real fast, and we're gonna watch that pressure dump, or vacuum dump rather. Then we can install those new ones, pull it back into a vacuum, recharge it, and this thing should be good to go. Although I would have loved to have put an entire evaporator case in this truck, that's highly lucrative. It's just not the right thing. So we're gonna do the right thing here. Unless this valve doesn't come out. Is that all boogered up or something? What's this problem? Yeah, it is all now. Come on, turn. It's air seeping in. Hear it? Still under vacuum. It sucked that thing back down. Come on. There she is. That's a little guy Schrader valve. Mm-hmm. Not much of an O-ring in there, is it? I know we're zoomed super far. Yeah, that's not much of a seal. So, you take one of these guys, drop it down in the hole. And when we tighten these, we don't wrench down on them for days. These are brass in construction, and it's a soft metal, so we don't want to tear the valve up by over torquing it. So we just turn until we bottom out, and about 15 inch-pounds-ish. Now this other one, that's a big boy port. That's our high side. Use the big end. Oh, unclick, please. Come out of there. No, nope. That one's in there. So we need to apply leverages to assist. Let's see here. What? Oh no. I'm turning the tool, not the business end down there. Okay. That's not great. Might have been it. Come on out. Yeah, she's gonna turn. Okay. That was making me nervous. I did not want to break off this thing inside of this hose or this line, because then we'd have to order a line, and that would not be awesome. Yeah, she's coming out. Please finish coming out. This thing's fighting me, you guys. I'm not having a good time. Maybe it's the influenza working on my crane branium. Sorry for the boring, lengthy removal. I could cut this out, but nah. Hi, Dave.
Hey.
People thought you quit. They were wondering, where's Dave been? Because we hadn't seen you in a while.
No, I'm not quitting.
Yeah, nope, Dave's right here.
He's finishing stuff up at the other shop.
Yeah, we love Dave. Dave's universal. He can do anything.
A ticket for you.
This one, oh, there's that valve I dropped. Come here, you. This one is not a huge leaker, but yeah, look at that. Look at that seal. See how it's flat? Let's take a look at the other one. Not flat. Yeah. Very good. Put that down in the hole. Let's get her tightened down. There we go. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's pull her back into a vacuum. We see since the system was open, we're hanging out around 0, no longer in vacuum. So we're gonna fire this thing up, pull it back down, 10 minutes, recharge it, and then that operation is good to go. So I don't feel good. I don't want to make any more videos today. I'm gonna do some clerical work in the office where it's warm, because it's breezy and chilly and cold, and I'm trying to fight the flu here. So that being said, I'm gonna close this one out. Let me know what you guys think about this situation with the oversell. In my opinion, I don't think that we had to replace a core, but let me know what you think about my second opinion, that oversell situation, and this truck in general in the comments section down below. Do not forget to engage that like button while you're down there, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, in a AC job, in a Ford Raptor. For now, end of transmission.